right, in an attempt to use those condiments I've got going on in my fridge, I went ahead and went through to see what needed to be used up. And I'm actually feeling pretty confident about it. So, as you saw, I don't know why I have 2 things of barbecue sauce. My assumption is we have just a real little teeny tiny bit of this one. Somebody was looking for it, couldn't find it, and went and opened a brand new one, which is now a third empty. We are having on our menu plan for tomorrow's dinner pizza and wings. So this will get used up with wings, just a real little bit, as well as this Sweet Baby Ray's buffalo wings. That will be used up. I might even make a buffalo chicken pizza. That sounds amazing. I think I'm gonna do it. So that takes care of that. This, I don't know, Kewpie mayonnaise, I really do not like. We've managed to go through about that much of it, but it's been in here since summertime. I'm just gonna throw it away. Horsey sauce, Arby's horsey sauce, I am going to throw it away. Best Buy is January of this year. It's been opened for quite a bit of time. I mean, we went through quite a bit of it, but I'm gonna throw it away. I can tell you the Kewpie mayonnaise I won't purchase again. This I know for a fact was a purchase because we had a big family dinner and we were doing something that I thought this would be good. I'm not going to purchase that again though. Same with the Chick-fil-A sauce. Just did not go through hardly much of it at all. It's done for garbage. Tomato paste, what would we open tomato paste for? I usually take this once it's been opened, and since it's a glass jar, I will just put it in the freezer. I only ended up using, looks like a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons maybe. Oh, it was the Spanish rice, Puerto Rican rice, I think. So I kept it in the fridge because pizza night tomorrow, I'll use some of this, zhuzh it up a little bit to then, and thin it out to make a pizza sauce. Sofrito, I'm going to, I don't know, there's just a real little bit left in here. I kind of have a meal plan idea for next week. I just used it the other day and I've been using it quite a bit, you know, more recently, but I don't have plans for it. So the little bit that's in here, I think I'm going to put in a little sandwich bag and freeze. I know it's not technically using it, but at least it's getting it out of my fridge and it's not going to waste like those other condiments that we just must not have really cared for. Cocktail sauce, I am making meatloaf on the menu plan this week. I typically will use chili sauce if it's in the fridge. Cocktail sauce, I know, has a little bit of a different zing to it, but I'm gonna try it in the meatloafs because I'll be making several to then freeze a few. I think separated amongst a few, the little bit we have left. This was just over the holidays, so it's fairly new, but that will get rid of that. And then the last thing I need to use up is teriyaki sauce. I am going to be making teriyaki pineapple chicken this Monday, I believe, and that will get rid of just a little bit that I have in here. It'll be used as a marinade. I won't be purchasing this again. I'm not in love with it. I can make my own teriyaki sauce out of everything that I know I already have. So that will come out of the fridge and we'll be done with that. So I've successfully, oh, and then the last thing is Italian dressing. I actually have to do a little bit of research to see how I might be able to use up Italian dressing. I only used about half of this plus another half one that, or 2/3 half that I had in the fridge. Over Christmas I made pasta salad. I won't be making pasta salad again probably until springtime, if not summer. We don't have fresh greens, to have any other type of a salad. I'm not in love with using this as a marinade for chicken because I just don't love Italian dressing. Just a certain ways like pasta salad. So I'm not sure how I'm going to use this up, but I am going to put this on my notes that I keep to remind myself to do a little research to see how I might want to use this. It's January 12th, dinner time, and I'm gathering up some stuff here from my pantry. Can't shop at the grocery store, but I can shop my pantry anyhow. So I'm getting some pizza sauce, some mushrooms. We are having pizza and wings tonight. So the wings have been thawed. I've got them sitting on the counter. I'm just gonna get those seasoned up, and then we make them several different ways. Currently, we're kind of hooked on frying them very shallow type of fry in lard. So that's what I'm gonna do with the wings. For the pizza, I'm making a main large pizza of pepperoni. Everyone wants it pretty basic today. I, however, oh, so you know what? I don't need the mushrooms actually. Usually we do some mushrooms as well. But I need the pepperoni. And I'm making also a buffalo chicken pizza. So we had discussed just a little bit ago yesterday when I took out all of the condiments and open jars and stuff that is in the fridge. I am working to use up today. The barbecue sauce will be eaten with the wings. Maybe not all of it, but a good amount of it. And then that buffalo sauce will be certainly eaten with the wings as well as the pizza. So that's what we're doing today for dinner. I'm also going to grab a jar of my pickled peppers because I do love those on pizza, and I think I would really like it on the buffalo chicken pizza. I have an open can of the tomato paste, as I said before, so I'm going to see how much that gets me for the main pizza, and if I need to crack open this jar, I will. If it seems like I only need a real little bit, I'm actually then just going to use my freeze-dried pizza sauce. So we'll see. I'll bring it with me here just in case, and then I'll grab some of my Italian seasoning blend and stuff to flavor up the tomato paste, of course, as a pizza sauce. But that's all we're doing here in the pantry today for today's dinner. And I do want to recap yesterday's dinner with the short ribs. I do just kind of want to let you know that that dinner was very delicious. Ina Garden knows what she's doing. However, I was kind of hoping it would provide us like this whole new meal opportunity. And as I kind of was expecting, it pretty much tastes very similar to the pot roast that I make, and so I don't really need another pot roast option. So if you have a recipe that you really enjoy with short ribs, please let me know, because currently, I mean, I can certainly make them that way and I don't mind, but it is very similar to my pot roast, which we absolutely love. So I don't really want to have to replace that. And I know over the summer I'm going to try smoking them as well. But until then, if you have any suggestions on short ribs, please let me know. It is Monday, January 13th, and it's dinner time. So I'm going to be using up that teriyaki sauce in my fridge on tonight's dinner. I'm grabbing a jar of my pineapple. This is the pineapple that was canned in apple juice. It's the last one I have like that. Over the summer, you and I canned regular pineapple in water, so excited to have that back on the shelf. But yeah, I'm just gonna throw this in tonight's dinner. I figure I'm grilling it up, I might as well just use that since it wasn't our favorite, just for snacking purposes. It'll be perfect to use in tonight's dinner. I'm also grabbing some other things for dinner. So I don't know yet for sure. I'm going to see if I can incorporate these Asian carrots into dinner. I have 2 of these jars left. I canned these back in 2021. Definitely want to get these used. They're not my favorite because there's quite a bit of ginger in them. If you're interested in this recipe, I did get this from the cookbook that I've talked about many times on my channel. Not Your Mama's Canning Book, Not Your Mama's Cookbook. I think it's Not Your Mama's Canning Book because it is a canning book after all. That's where I got this recipe from. It isn't that it's bad, it's just I'm not a huge fan of ginger, and it is quite overwhelming for me with the amount that I put in. But sometimes when I'm doing Asian style dishes or, you know, some sort of a flair like that, I can incorporate it into things and it's not so bad. I've only got 2 jars left, so I want to try and get that used up. I do have peppers in the freezer, but this is where I like to use my canned peppers because I kind of want the flavor that's there, but I don't necessarily need to have the bite of a pepper. So I will save my frozen peppers for dishes where I want to know that that pepper is in there with each bite that I'm taking. This is just where I just want that flavor there, and it really boosts and amplifies. It's like a concentrated flavor of pepper. It's wonderful. I've said this in my what I will can and not can again video. I'll link that here above if you've not seen that before. I love canning bell peppers, and I know a lot of people don't. I look at it as a boost of flavor rather than trying to get a substantial pepper experience in your dish. If you look at it as just adding flavor, I think you might be more open to trying it. And then freezing your peppers, like I said, for those dishes where you really want to know that you're eating pepper. Thursday, January 16th dinner. Yesterday we had leftovers. My husband actually met some friends out for some wings. He is an adult, he pays bills, he is allowed to go out on a pantry challenge, no big deal. So me and the kids just did some leftovers. It was great to get an opportunity to use those up. Pink banana squash that I grew in my garden. It is considered a winter squash. It is really good. We've been really enjoying it. We won't eat all of this today. I am going to plan to have some of it then with our dinner on Saturday, I do believe. Or is it Saturday or Sunday? And then I can freeze some as well. Meatloaf, I made just a small meatloaf because it's just a small number of us here today. And then you've seen I whipped up the mashed potatoes from the canned potatoes that I made. A lot of people say they can't make mashed potatoes from canned potatoes. So my tip, as you saw, is I drain the can and I put the jar and I put fresh water in our pot, and then I re-boil those potatoes, because when they come out of the jar, there's enough of a substantial bite that they could be used for potato salad. They don't immediately disintegrate and smush down. So cooking them a little bit longer softens them up, reactivates that starch for you, and makes them mashable. I just did a simple mash, so there are little chunks of potato in there, but if I wanted a more smooth outcome, I could use my ricer, but we enjoy it this way. And then I just added my milk and cream, or rather my cream and sour cream, butter, salt, pepper, and you've got mashed potatoes. And then I opened a jar of corn, homemade bread for anyone who wants that as a side, and that is tonight's dinner. I will see you tomorrow back in the kitchen for dinner. TGIF, it is Friday the 16th, I think. Getting dinner ready. Just want to share with you kind of where I'm pulling things from to get our dinner made today. We're going to have spaghetti and garlic bread. So I took a loaf of the French bread out of the freezer. I keep a few of these in my freezer at all times, once a week to every other week, depending on how quickly we go through it. I'll make up a batch of 4 loaves. Pulled some Italian sausage from the freezer. And I'm gonna cook the meat up with some of those onions that I have in my freezer. Of course, some fresh garlic for the sauce. I have really been enjoying making my own pasta sauce lately, and so I really don't foresee that I am going to be buying store-made sauce for a while. I think the only time I might is if I have to do a really big batch of lasagna or something for a really big crowd. So basically what I use is just plain tomato sauce, the stewed tomato sauce that we made together, and tomato paste, of course, with dried seasonings and garlic, things like that for the sauce as well. I also found a bag of grilled eggplant in my freezer. It was the last one. I'm almost afraid to open it because I'm sure there's icicles in there. It's been in there for quite some time. So I'm gonna get that in the oven, grilled up, put a little bit of Parmesan over the top of it, and can have that alongside the spaghetti. And that's what's for dinner tonight. Saturday the 18th, we're having Cuban pork bowls for dinner tonight. Typically, I include Saturday on my week of meals, but I actually have a video on how I make my Cuban pork and Cuban beans. So I will link that video above if you'd like to go check it out, and I'm going to end this video here for this week of pantry meals. So let me know how the pantry challenge is going for you. Did you have any successes this week, or did you have any, I don't want to call them fails, challenges. We'll call them challenges. This week went really well for me. Next week I kind of feel like it's going to be challenging. So I'm actually working in the kitchen this weekend to set myself up for success. So that way I don't have temptation and I don't have additional challenges outside of what may already be. So I thank you for joining me for the dinners this week, and I will see you again very soon.